Hi Pisces, Sun, Moon, Ascendant, or Venus. This is Dane, and I am going to be doing your love and relationship reading for you. Now I ask if this reading resonates with you, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, and also to subscribe to my channel. And if you would like to be notified whenever I upload new videos, and I upload all the time, just hit the bell notification button. And if you're interested in any of the cards that I'm using, they will be listed and linked in the description box below. Now, before we begin this reading, let's clear the energy space, raising our own energy vibration and releasing any negativity. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. Releasing all negativity from the body like storm clouds. Letting yourself feel calm, centered, and at peace as we enter into this safe and loving space. Let's let the bowls sing as we see what the tarot has to say. Pisces, love and relationships. Pisces, love and relationships. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides. Show me clearly. Guide this reading. Fantastic. And then let's see what the chakra energy is for this time. This is going to be the place where we're a little bit more vulnerable and where we can be kind of hit rather easily. And remember, this isn't just for romantic love and relationships. This is for all love and relationships. Like, this is going to be the place where we're going to be vulnerable. Pisces, love and relationships. Pisces, love and relationships. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Ooh, fantastic. These two came up. Oh, goodness. Okay. And then let's see the energy that we need to be mindful of. This is going to be where we're going to be kind of like, this is how we're going to be manipulated. This is what we have to be aware of. Like, if we see people starting to play these games, it's like, whoa, wait, step back. Okay. What energy does Pisces need to be mindful of for love and relationships? What energy does Pisces need to be mindful of for love and relationships? Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Okay, so let's start. Oh, no, let's not jump all the way there. Let's start off with our crowning card, which is the Knight of Swords. This is air sign energy, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. We're going to be very much defenders of what we want in life, what we love in life. There's a real sense of, I know what I want, and I know where I'm headed, and I'm not going to be silenced or held back. This is what I need. And there's a true beauty here with that. There can also be a sense of a bit of conflict coming in with somebody kind of sweeping us up in their ideas and their passions, and really feeding us this sense of, oh wow, that's awesome type of thing, like, wow, I really want to be a part of that. But there is a sense here of us really being focused. And then we have the Hierophant. So this is commitment. The Hierophant in romantic love, this represents commitment, this represents marriage, this represents institutions. So here, there can be the sense of, now I know what I want. Now I know where I want this relationship to be. Either we can see it headed towards marriage, or if we're already married, it's like, okay, how do I embrace this commitment so that it works for me, not so that it works for anybody else, because we're not talking about anybody else's relationship. We're talking about our own. And so here, there's also a sense of, I need to be true to myself. I need to have who I am shine through, and I can't be anybody else. It moves us then to the Four of Cups. And the Four of Cups is a gift that we're not going to see coming in. And it's like, oh my gosh, you know, do I know where I'm headed? Do I know what I want? Because this is a gift that seems like an extra burden. It seems like, oh my goodness, you just put one more thing on my table. Thanks so much. But it really winds up being one of the things that defines us, one of the things that accelerates us. And it moves us then to the Three of Cups. And for me, the Three of Cups, it's funny because the Three of Cups for me is the sense of be mindful. Be mindful of who's celebrating you. Be mindful of who you trust. Because once you are mindful, once we understand that there are people that we trusted full-heartedly and we thought, wow, you're going to be in my corner. Like, you're my person. And it could be romantically, it could be emotionally. And we were betrayed by them. It makes us gun shy. It makes us, think, oh, I can't do that. Like, I can't trust that way again. But there's also a sense of beautiful people being around us and showing us that, yes, we can trust. Yes, we can move forward. But there is a sense of really knowing that there's a power in the individual. There's a power in knowing what we want and knowing that we have our feet firmly planted on the ground. And even if we're saying, well, I don't really know what I want and I don't really have my feet firmly planted on the ground. I have doubts and I have fears and I have the sense of being overwhelmed, but I'm connected. I'm connected with my emotions. And that's something that's beautiful. My emotions aren't running the show because the Hierophant shows that the emotions aren't running the show. But we have this beautiful countdown from the Four of Cups to the Three of Cups. And it moves us then to the Ace of Pentacles. It moves us to prosperity. Now, it moves us also to a seed being planted. Now, this could be in regards for some of us to, and I hate to say this, but to a divorce that happened with it could be with an air sign energy, but it's with somebody that we have to be really smart around. We have to know our stuff around this person. It can be an ex. We could very well have had a child with them, but there is the sense of the seed being planted that winds up being really prosperous. Now, it can also be that somebody planted the seed within us, and it's a seed of doubt and fear, but because we are becoming aligned with what we want, with what we desire, and because we are seeing ourselves in a very clear way during this time, all of a sudden, what was once negative becomes a positive, and it moves us to our roots of the Seven of Cups. It moves us to knowing what we dream of, knowing what we desire within a relationship, knowing where we want to be. This person who gave us kind of this burden to bear, it could have been a caregiver. It could have been a person who, we thought, wow, I can rely on you. I'm supposed to rely on you. People rely on this type of person in the movies and in books, and why can't I? So here, it could have been a relationship that went sour. It could have been caregivers. It could have been, even teachers that taught us that trusting might not always be the best thing. But there's a sense here of friends, but there's a sense here of a seed being valuably planted. And it's a gift from God's source spirit, however you see the divine, the universe. And again, it doesn't feel like a gift. A lot of times, the harshest things that we have been through, the things that have defined us so spectacularly in this realm of pain, all right, wind up being some of the greatest strengths that we will ever have. It's because if we can walk out of that nightmare, we can claim so much more of the world, so much more of ourselves. Now, the chakra energy for this time is the soul star chakra, located 6 inches above our crown, and also the solar plexus chakra, so personal power and divine wisdom. We have a lot coming at us that is really quite beautiful, really quite, expressive and encompassing. But if we don't look at it that way, if we look at it as, oh my goodness, like, what the heck is going on here? If we don't trust our guts and we think, okay, well, this divine wisdom is coming forward, right? This inspiration is coming in, but I need proof. I always need proof. It's kind of like being Thomas. Like, I need to see in the Bible. I need to see the stigmatas. So, and I know that's a rather religious sentiment, but it's kind of like, I need proof. Divinity is going to say, I gave you proof in your pain. I gave you proof in your sorrow. What more proof do you want? And it sounds like a very odd place to be standing. It sounds like a very odd thing to be moving us forward in. But the personal power comes through the sense of being forged. And we have the sword right here, the Knight of Swords. And when one was learning how to be a knight, you learned everything about a sword. And the sword was also only given to nobility. So it was a sign of power. You could have been killed if you were a commoner and you wielded a sword. You knew how to use one, or you just picked one up in battle. So here, there is, and it wasn't that you were killed in battle, it was that you were killed for daring to pick up a sword. So here, with personal power, it's like, I dare to pick up the sword. I dare to embrace my nobility. I dare to move myself forward. And as I do so, there's a wisdom that comes. There's a power that comes. But because we are sensitive here, we're going to think, excuse me, I don't have any wisdom. I don't have any power. It's kind of been beaten out of me. It hasn't. It absolutely hasn't. Just because life has shut us down more often than we would like. It's facing these fears. It's facing these failures. Or what we perceive as failures. And it's saying, there's more here. There's more here than what I had originally thought. And it comes to a sense of great power. And that's why people during this time are going to want to block us, because they're going to want to say, oh, you don't have that power. You don't have that strength, because then I can't control you. Then I can't have you do what I want you to do. And, excuse me, I'm just going to take a sip of water. Okay. And during this time, with the energy that we need to be mindful of, it's the Lord. It's that controlling energy. This is, of course, also Aries energy. March 21st to April 19th is the time frame. But this is a person who likes to be in power. This is a father figure. This could be a husband. This could be a wife, but it's somebody who really takes on the main role, the traditional main role. And so here we're looking at things and it's like, well, how do I move from this, from being under this person's thumb, or from the fear that this person created in my life around relationships, around what I want, around the way that I want to move forward? Because this is a person who's like, well, did you check with me? And it's like, well, why did I have to check with you? I'm my own person. I get to make my decisions. And yet they play a game where it's like, oh, I don't get to make my own decisions. Like, I feel guilty about this now. I feel overwhelmed about this. I'm questioning every step along the way. And it's like, why? Why? Because this person is controlling and manipulative and powerful. And we don't question that power because they just have this bearing about them. And they could have also been, oh my gosh, just so incredibly charming when we met them. We were just kind of swept away. We were swept away in the beauty that they possessed, in the power that they possessed, in the way that they treated us, lavishing us with gifts, lavishing us with attention. And then once they felt comfortable, all that changed. And so during this time, it's like, there's a real sense here, and it's with the Knight of Swords. The Knight of Swords does not want to be told what to do by anyone. Yes, a knight is always a vessel for somebody. So a knight is always serving the king, is always serving the queen. But the knight is the person who has to make the decisions, is the person in the midst of the battles, is the person that is looked to and called upon to fight. And so here, it's like, I don't want to be ruled by anybody, but I have this set of rules that I live by. And so during this time, there can be a conflict because it's like, well, why can't it be this person's rules, right? And a lot of times, it doesn't start off as big things because we would never agree to the big things right off the bat. Like, well, no, you can't talk to any of your friends. Well, why? But it slowly becomes that. It slowly becomes that manipulative, controlling way of being. And it doesn't have to be big. It can be sometimes that this person just kind of like stamps their foot down and says, no, you are doing it this way because I said so, because I'm the one who's ruling over this situation, and this is the way it has to be. And it's like, no. With the King, with the Knight of Swords, and with the Hierophant, we are seeing what's intrinsically important to ourselves. And we are seeing ourselves moving forward more powerfully, more dynamically, more intrinsically aligned with what we want and who we are and where we want to be within our lives. And the Knight of Swords, I always see the Knight of Swords as like Prince Charming in Sleeping Beauty. And if you use it allegorically, this is the conscious part of ourselves becoming very aware. And it's becoming aware of the dragon that hoards away its gold, that hoards away our power and what we value most. And then cutting through the rose bushes, right? The brambles, the poison of the beautiful world. Cutting away the poison that is trying to take away the beauty that we have within life. Everything has a payoff. And so we cut through that, we see through that, and then we start to ascend, because we start to ascend within our consciousness. And then we awaken the part of us that has been sleeping. Now, it can be that we find another person, but when we are ascending, if we do not recognize within ourselves that there is love and there is beauty and there is power and there is brilliance here, we will not recognize our true power. So we're awakening a part of us that sleeps. It could be the divine feminine part. It could be the divine masculine part. It depends on what type of person we are. And so we awaken. We awaken to a strength and to a coming together, into a unity, and to a power that gets to be part of us. We find that we don't back down. We find that we might actually engage in arguments because it's like, no, I've had enough. And we might look back at it and be like, oh, well, I didn't really need to, choose that hill to die on. That really wasn't that important an issue. But we're finding our voice. We're claiming our strength, our power, our greater understanding. And it moves us then to the institution. What do we want? What do we want? Is the goal more traditional? Do we want the white picket fence and the children and the marriage? Or do we want part of that? Okay, I really want the white picket fence, but all the rest can go away. Or I want the children, but not the partner. Or I want the partner, but not the children. What are we picking? What is important to us? What is intrinsic? This is an institution, so we can feel guilty for what we're picking because, oh my gosh, it's not traditional. Or, oh my gosh, everybody's starting to judge me. I'm this old, I'm not married, people are looking at me funny, or, I've gotten divorced and, now people are kind of, whispering about me. But what's important? What's important to us? The world will judge. People judge. That's what they do because their lives are small and they can't look within. A person who doesn't judge, who doesn't sit there and criticize everybody, is a person who's really rather content in their life. They see what they have on their plate and it's like, this is enough. I don't need to worry about everybody else. And so with the Hierophant, yes, this is, of course, Taurus energy, April 20th to May 20th, but this is a sense of powerful understanding. This is a sense of stubborn truth. And that stubborn truth, it's like, what is important to me that if I go against, I feel like I've gone against my soul. I feel like I've gone against myself. And it leads us to a gift. And again, it's a gift that doesn't seem like a gift. And I love that we have this countdown here for 5, 4, 3, and then we have 1, of course. So we have this sense of this is a gift. It doesn't seem like a gift. It can seem like a curse. It can seem like an added burden. It can seem like, why was this always happening to me? Why did things have to fall apart this way? What is it that I desire? What is it that I want? And yet divinity is saying, it's right here. Turn around. It's not what you think it is. It's not how it's been defined before. It's different. It doesn't mean it's bad. It's powerful. It doesn't mean it's wrong. And so we start to open our hearts to what it is that we desire, what it is that we need. We start to open our hearts to the gifts that we know. But we can also start making it a mantra or part of our meditation of, let me move forward in your grace. Let me move forward in a connection to divinity, in a connection to power. And when divinity speaks of power, when spirit speaks of power, it isn't that physical, lordly power that people lord over us. It's that power of compassion. It's that power of understanding. The person who says, oh, I'm compassionate, but you just have to do everything my way, that person isn't truly compassionate. That person isn't truly emotionally aware. They like to say they are because it makes them look good, or they can truly think that they are, but they're ruining it. So here, when we start to look at things, when we start to look at ourselves, when we start to look at what we want, it becomes clear. It becomes clear. It's like, oh, this is who I am. This is what I desire. This is what I need. This is where I need to be. And it starts to open up the doors. And it leads us to looking at the 3 cups that we have. And the 3 cups that we have taught us many lessons. What has filled us spiritually has been bitter and sour. A cup filled of drink that we would not choose to drink again. One has been sweet and delightful. It could also be overly sweet. And the other one is like balance. It's like the 3 little bears. One is just right. And there's a sense here of, how do I move forward with this? How do I know without being burnt what is sour and wrong for me? What is poison to me? What is hurtful to me? What is overbearing and too sweet and too much? But also, what is my balance? Like, what is the perfect thing? And so the 3 of Cups comes forward, and it's that doubt. It's like, well, will I be betrayed? Will this hurt me? Will this overwhelm me? And it's like, we cannot live if we are to embrace love and relationships in fear. People will move forward in their way. What they see as being right, we might see as being intrinsically wrong. What they see as necessary, we might see as hurtful. They're allowed their path, but their path doesn't have to ruin ours. And so we connect with what is right, with what fits with us. And it can change over time. We don't have to be tied in to just one thing. There's a sense of also looking at, what is it that I desire? What is the gift of the relationship that I'm in, right? That is important that I'm not seeing. What is the hurt and the pain that is overshadowing things? And what is the beauty that I need to start embracing? It can be within relationships. It can be within our own lives, and that starts to lead to a gift that is just astounding. The Ace of Pentacles is when God, Source, Spirit, however you see, again, the divine, the universe, hands us a gift of wealth, prosperity. Now, Pentacles also represents a child. It can be a gift of a child. It can be this child has made us see things in life that we didn't want to see, that became overwhelming, that became too much, but also that needed to be seen, needed to pull us back on our path. It can be that this is a gift to say, this is what's intrinsically important to me. The other person, they might say, oh yeah, I want kids, but they don't. And it's like, okay, well, am I staying or am I going? What do I want? This doesn't have to necessarily be children. This is prosperity, or what we value as much as money. This is wealth of the individual. This is a sense of self. This is a sense of bounty. If we have a person in our lives, or had a person in our lives, that always knocked us down and said, oh, you really weren't talented at anything. Oh, you think you could do that. Oh, you think that's important. Always shut us down every single chance that they got. It's time, this is a time where we're starting to say, why the heck are you still talking to me? Like, what the heck is this doing still playing through my mind? There's more here. There's more here than I realize. There's more here than I know, and I'm embracing it. I'm empowered by it. There's a seed of greatness planted within us. In a relationship, it can be fed by another person, but it mainly has to be realized by us. Because another person, no matter how much we love them, no matter how important they are, they're still human. And to err is to be human. To make mistakes is to be human. And so we have to reach deep within our gifts, within our souls, within our desires. And it moves us to our dreams. It moves us to what we want. It moves us to the distractions that we've let come in. But it also moves us to the power that we let be a part of us, to the beauty, to the understanding, to the brilliance. The Seven of Cups is like, stand back. What do we wish for? What do we want? What do we dream of late at night? Is it realistic, or is it completely, fabricated to always make us feel like we need to fill a void? Because that's done. That's done so we buy more. That's done so that, we never feel satisfied, and we always have to be looking for something better. What is it that we dream of? Do our dreams match our partner's dreams? Do our dreams match, our dreams of 5 years ago? How have we changed? Where do we want to be? How are we opening up the door? The Seven of Cups is profound. The Seven of Cups is like, what is your greatest wish? But also, with the greatest wish, also comes the greatest fear. What if I put myself out there and it all falls apart? What if I tell that person I like them and they don't reciprocate? What if I, try to strengthen our relationship and they just don't care? The art of connection, the art of Karezza, which I have linked in the description box below, is beautiful because it's talking about soul to soul. And it's so intrinsically different from the love that our world values today. We value the passion. We value the peaks in everything. The peaks in relationships, the orgasms, the bliss, the 6 months of dizzy, like, oh my gosh, I just can't live without the person. We value that. We put so much emphasis on that, and we say, that has to stay forever and ever and ever. And it's only going to be me and this person, us against the world. Well, that's a bit much. That's a bit much to put on one person's shoulders. It's also a bit much to have put on our shoulders. We need a community. We're not meant to live in these singular, isolated groups. We're meant to be part of more. Right? Traditionally, human beings were made to live in like groups of 50. That would be the clan, the tribe, the connections, the world that we lived in. And even though now we're more connected than ever, with people coming together from all over the world, we're also astoundingly singular. It's knowing that love is this beautiful give and take, that we need that community to be our best friend, to be our confidant, to be the person that we connect with, so that we can have the lover, so that we can have the person that holds our heart in just a very special way. But we also have others around us. Our dreams for beauty, for connection, they're important. They're important, and they're instilled within each and every one of us. And they have to be honored. This modern sense of romance is beautiful. It really is. It's so, it's that chivalric sense of there's just one person and it's all-encompassing and it's amazing. It really, it entices, but it doesn't sustain. And if you're one of the lucky people that it does sustain for, it's like, what is the dream within that sustenance, within that beauty? How do we let it shine? How do we connect with others because of it? How do we share that? Because that is a brilliance. So here we look at our dreams and we look at our desires, and it leads us to our spirit guide message. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly for Pisces. Ooh, love and relationships. And of course, this one right here, which is hope. Hope is what was left at the bottom of the box when Pandora opened it and quickly closed it. All of chaos came out. All of doubts and fears and angers and upsets and lack. But hope was left. Because hope is what sustains us, even if we think it doesn't. Oh, goodness, my goodness. These are slippery cards today. Well, I guess hope really wanted to make itself known. It then leads us. Let's just fix this. Awesome. To our subconscious, to our spirit animal message. Pisces, love and relationships, angels and spirit guides. Show me clearly. This is the brown bear spirit. Take time out. Take time out. Because Pisces, we tend to connect with everybody else. We tend to say, what do you want? What do you need? Oh, okay, I can do this. And it's lovely. It is a lovely way to be. But we need to step back and say, what do I want? What do I need? What do I desire? How do I want to move forward? And really, honestly and honorably respect that within us. Instead of saying, oh, that's selfish. Oh, I planted that within my heart and that's just silliness. It's like, no, this is what my heart craves. And it moves us then to our subconscious spirit animal message, which is the turtle spirit. Slow and steady wins the race. It doesn't have to be that we have the love that shines like that explodes like a firecracker, right? Have you ever noticed there are, with friends and family members, they can have this love and they're all over each other and you're looking at them and you're like teenagers, stop it. You know, we're not teenagers anymore. And we can get envious. It's like, oh, why do they have that type of love? And I don't. But we don't know what's behind the surface. And a lot of times the loves that burn the brightest, that are like completely enviable by everybody else, they wind up dying out rather spectacularly. Slow and steady. A constant, a respect, a brilliance. That's what wins this race in this world. That's what connects us. The subconscious spirit message is purposeful. Being purposeful with our actions, with our emotions, with our desires, with what we want. Knowing that there's a mindfulness to it all. A purpose within our movements, within our words. To build love, to accept love, to grow in love. That's so important. It leads us to our subconscious chakra message, which is abundance, our root chakra. At the root of us, we are meant to be abundant. It doesn't mean that we're meant to be draped in gold and, absolutely exalted. What it means is that we're meant to have prosperity within our lives, bounty and beauty. We're meant to be part of something more. And to embrace that something more is the exquisiteness of our existence. At the root, there is abundance. At the root, there is wealth. It leads us to our subconscious person message, which is the Prince of Pentacles, Earth sign energy, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. Slow and steady. We're going to think, okay, if I build this real slow, if I go kind of step by step, I can get to exactly where I want to be. There are times where we have to take risks, where we have to jump. The Knight of Swords is the fastest moving knight. The Knight of Pentacles, the Prince of Pentacles, is the slowest moving knight. So we're going to have this conflict. There's also going to be a person who's like, well, don't rush into things. Don't rush into things. And you're kind of thinking, if I move any slower, I might as well not be moving at all. So there is a power that's coming forward that we need to look at, that we need to embrace as we desire. And also know that it goes against the speed of somebody else. But we can't have another person dictating our lives. It moves us to our subconscious tarot message, which is the Seven of Pentacles, patience. Because prosperity is coming. Patience. It's kind of like a watch pot never boils. Have patience for the bounty that comes, for the beauty that comes, for the way that we get to move forward. It isn't going to be because we watch it and we demand it. It's going to be in the subtlest, most divine way. That life starts moving in a direction that is more than we expected. And yet, exactly what our hearts desired. It doesn't come all at once. Spirit is saying the patience is what challenges us. The repeat of the number 7 shows that we cannot abide by liars. We could be called out on the smallest things, because when we have 7 in and things, we can find that people are saying, oh, well, that wasn't the truth. And it's like, oh my gosh, that's so small. Like, why are you harping on that? It's not anything big. There's also a sense with the repeat of number 7, and since we also have divine wisdom, wisdom, connection, sacredness, it's going to be so important. I find that we've taken the sacred out of our world, and we've left it to be this very cold, logical place. And, that's good for some people. For me, I need the sacred, especially within love. That sacred connection, that sacred coming together, that sacredness that was once honored within love. It gets to come back, and there gets to be a beauty to it. And yes, we can argue that it was honored so long ago. But even though it was so easily lost, it is still profoundly longed for. All right, Pisces. I hope this reading has resonated with you. I wish you nothing but light, love, peace, and happiness. May harmony always be with you. I'm sending loving, healing energy to each and every one of you. I love you all, and stay safe. Let's end this reading with a meditation, a clearing away of negative energy, a raising of our positive energy as we embrace our strength in a way we never thought we would, in a way that is bold and is beautiful. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. May you move forward in peace and in harmony, Pisces.